Right. Bit of a change of scenery today. I was trying to avoid doing work, and so I built a blanket fort. That's all the explanation that needs. Anyway, 1989. This is the turning point from country pop to full-on pop. She lost the album of the year to Daft Punk, was not happy about that, and so she decided to go full force into pop against the wishes of all the production-y people. Also, side note, I've been filming this during the whole Ariana Grande and Idina Menzel and everyone leaving Scooter Braun. We're not sure what the tea is there. It could be zero tea, could be no tea, could be a lot of tea. We're not sure. So at time of listening, everyone's just jumping ship, and it took them long enough. Right, here we go. So we're starting out with the liner notes. So the liner notes, I'm going to skim read. I'm not going to read all of this to you. So I shall skim read this, give you the skinny. So she's talking about being reborn into this new version of herself. She's deciding to go a new direction, the direction she's wanted to go for a little bit. She is losing the overly romantic Disney side of her, and she's facing some hard truths. She wants her stories to be told in a different way, which is why she's going in this direction. She's very much trying to create a legacy. Okay, so this is the first track from 1989. So the opening track for 1989 introduced the world to a brand new Taylor Swift. After experimenting with electronic pop elements on Red, sort of dance pop, her country starlet persona was all gone with the release of 1989. So yeah, we heard in Red her delve more into the dance pop craze that was being popularized by the likes of Nicki Minaj and Miley Cyrus and people like that. So this is a continuation of that then. So the title is a literal way for Taylor to welcome her fans to her new sound, paralleling her own movie from Nashville to New York. 1989 as an album reflects her new lifestyle, moving from her country roots to a big city with all the glitz and glamour. Looks like to ingratiate herself to New York, she donated all sales from the first single to New York public schools. Despite this song is known as the worst New York City anthem of all time. All right, fine. Well, I know nothing about New York City, so let's do this. Okay, so this is dramatically different from her other stuff. So, first of all, the lyrics have been massively dumbed down. The beautiful metaphor and simile and just style that she had in the last couple of albums is gone here. Entirely gone. This is the most basic song. It sounds like it was written by several men in suits around a large table. This is the sort of thing I'd expect from like your Katy Perry's, your Nicki Minaj's. This song was definitely designed to appeal to the lowest common denominator. So I'm torn between appreciating this new sound with the synths and everything, but so far the song is doing zero for me. I can see why New York doesn't like it. I've never wanted to skip a Taylor Swift song up until this point. I want to skip the rest of this because it's just copy paste. But I won't. Okay, maybe it's just all the hype. People have been hyping me up about this album, but that was incredibly disappointing. Like, I've been enjoying Taylor Swift up to this point because of the lyricism and the genuine vocals and emotion and stories. And then you've got this, which is just the most cookie-cutter pop song I have ever heard. I'm hoping that this is not the template for the rest of this album, because I've been quite excited to listen to this. Well, next is Blank Space. And we know Blank Space because it's been a single and I live in the world. So let's have a read of this one. Taylor Swift plays her serial data image to her advantage with Blank Space, a synth pop anthem that the RIAA, the Recording Industry Association of America, Okay. Certified 8 times platinum in July of 2018. She explained in GQ that she wrote the song from the perspective of the crazy but seductive but glamorous but nuts but manipulative woman that the media painted her as. So this is her cartoonifying her media image and owning it somewhat. Throughout the song, Swift carefully brings this character to life through juxtaposition and showcases her raging passion. She also included the noise of a pen click towards the end of the chorus, suggesting that the character is writing her new lover's name in her blank space. Yes, okay. Great. Let's give it a listen. We've set the bar very, very low with that first track, so... Yeah, so she's really doing a very good job of exemplifying the character here of Media Taylor. She's written this very, very arrogant, very exaggerated, and the synths and everything are the big 80s, early 90s, late 80s sound is persistent throughout both tracks so far, but the first one sounds like it was written by ChatGPT, and this one it has got a lot more lyricism to it, which is great, because I was worried for a second there. And I know this song, I've heard it before, but I've never read the lyrics and actually paid attention to it. It's just been on the radio. But the pop sensibilities are going through the roof here, so we've got way more ad-libs in the background. Stuff like that just randomly going on in the background. We've got layers and layers and layers and layers of background vocals. During that first chorus, right at the end, it parallels the layers of backing vocals with the pen click. When she's saying, "I've got a blank space, baby, and I'll write your name," that's just one layer. That's just her. That it puts it on a more personal level, which is great. Yeah, I really like that song. I just realised I forgot to rank the first one, which, I mean, I'm not even going to talk about it. Blank Space. I'm going to pop her in B for the time being. All right, this next one is called Style. Style details a tumultuous relationship between two people who keep coming back to each other. Swift seems to have taken inspiration from her romance with Harry Styles, even referencing some of his band's music. Swift teased lyrics from a song in a since-deleted Instagram post from 2014. She released it as the album's third single, following Shake It Off and Blank Space. Triple platinum. This is Lord's favourite song on this album. Okay. I do like Lord. You can hear some influence from Lord in here as well with the minimalism. It's a very modern thing, and I say modern. It's a very 2000s, 2010s, 2020s thing for the choruses to either stay at the same level or lower than the verses, as opposed to ramping up like it would pre-2000, let's say 10, which is something it's taken me a while to get used to, because I always feel like a chorus should jump in energy, but that is not the trend lately. So Harry Styles I've already got down here. She knew he was trouble when he walked in, so that's good. Brilliant. Now we're going to hear lots of One Direction references, of which I will probably get 2. Okay, here we go. Already this synth guitar combo is very, very 80s, and I love it. It's giving The Weeknd a run for their money. I haven't seen the music videos for any of these songs yet, but I imagine this one is just neon, with blur lines and cars and minimalist. That's interesting. I wonder if the music video for this one is going to be various eras, just somebody representing Taylor Swift and Harry Styles, and they're just going through different eras, all set to this very, very 80s song, giving some Knight Rider themes. It's a fun song, that one. I like that's the imagery on that one's fantastic. I'm really glad that we moved on from that first track. Styles going in A. Okay, this next track is called Out of the Woods. Out of the Woods captures the anxiety and excitement of a past relationship that Taylor treasures the memories of. This is the second promo single, and later became the 6th official single. 6 singles from this album. Wow. It was co-written by Jack Antonoff. I love that guy. I love that guy. Who worked on many songs for the album and later joined Taylor to create her 2017 album Reputation. Ooh, that's made me very excited for A, the rest of this album and Reputation. Ooh, I didn't know that Jack Antonoff was a big part of Taylor Swift lore. Very happy about that. It is known that she was writing to track for this song. That means that there's a metronome counting along in the background, which makes this style of music a lot easier to produce because you can copy-paste the synths and everything from one section to another without having to redo them. Because if you're recording without a track, you're going in and out of time with yourself, which Taylor's used to doing because she's on acoustic guitar. But recording to track just saves a lot of work, so it's generally encouraged. A short preview of this song was shown on Good Morning America, and the full version was released the next day. The music video premiered on December 31st, 2015. The blue dress that Taylor wore in this music video made a return at the beginning of Look What You Made Me Do. Aye. Looks a bit worse for wear there, didn't she? What's that about? Okay. Right. I wonder who this one's about. I guess it's not known, otherwise it would have said. Let's find out. So this weird effect here where they've taken a vocal and then messed around with it and repeated it and used it as a sample. That sort of thing, that's why you want to record to track, is because you can just place that instead of having to rework it several times. Looking at it now. Right, so yeah, we're back to classic cookie cutter. That's really hard to say. Classic cookie cutter pop again with this chorus, where there's no real idea behind it at all. It's just the 2 different sentences repeated over and over and over again with a big gang vocal shout at the end of it. It's just the most basic stuff, which is something I do not expect from Jack or Taylor, quite frankly. But I know I've got to keep in my head that the whole point of this album is to create the most pop album. So she's not split between country album of the year and album of the year. I mean, this is very, very, very 2014 as well. All the pop songs were doing this. So in that regard, she's done a very, very good job. The woman knows what she's doing. Wow, okay, there was, at its peak, there was maybe 20 layers of vocals in there. That was ridiculous. I mean, I've done the same thing, don't worry. But it seems to be a theme of this album that the bridge is the best part of the song, which is interesting. The bridge in this song specifically was, I keep saying very 80s. I know that's the point, but it was very 80s. Yeah, I'm torn between the fact that the chorus is just repetitive and basic, but that is what the style was at the time. I mean, Lady Gaga set everyone else up for this sort of thing. All right, it's going to go at the top of C, that one, because I feel like that's going to grow on me. It's just because I'm trying to analyze it in my head. I'm trying to listen to it and analyze it instead of just listening to it and enjoying it. I think if I wasn't thinking so deeply into it, I might enjoy it a bit more. That. Okay, what is next? Oh, we're on the 5th track. You know what that means. It is time for the emotionally vulnerable ballad. Here we go. All you had to do was stay discusses a crumbling relationship that falls apart to a lover's indiscretion. It's part of Swift's famous 5-track, yes, we know. A big theme in Swift's romantic songs is the prospect of a lover staying with her. Yeah. Swift gave fans a preview into the lyrics when she posted them on Instagram. This song was inspired by a weird dream that I had. It was one of those dreams where you ever have a dream that you could do anything, where you sort of have a social embarrassment happen and you can't stop it because you in a sleep state. But basically, the dream was about I was trying to talk to someone, a very important person to me at the time, and all that would come out of my mouth was this very high-pitched voice. I assume they mean they're saying stay. No matter what I was trying to say, that was the only sound that was coming out of my mouth. I woke up incredibly weirded out and decided that I was going to write it into a song. Right, fine, okay. Let's give this a listen. Emotional ballad that starts with hey, 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 hey. Yeah, that's an interesting hook. Stay! Wow, that's a high note. Stay! All you had to do was stay! Okay, that's too high for me. Yeah, use it quite a lot. It's clearly... I wonder if that is Taylor Swift singing in that state. I would have thought so. I can't imagine why she would get anywhere. I've just never heard her really sing up there. I don't think. Must have been an interesting session though. You imagine her in the studio just going stay, stay, stay. Anyway. Here you are now, calling me up. All right, yeah, I quite enjoyed that. I like the hook. I'm annoyed that I can't reach it. Maybe on a good singy day, maybe. It's going in a C. Right, so we're finally here. Shake It Off. What I think is the most well-known Taylor Swift song, probably. I would have thought. It's either that or I Knew You Were Trouble when you walked in. But, I mean, the reason I know Shake It Off so well is because the function band I'm in, we play that song in that band. So I sing it weekly.
Hey, while you be getting down and out about the liars and the dirty cheats of the world, you should have been getting down to this sick beat. My ex-man got his new girlfriend. She said, oh my God, I'm just gonna shake it to the fellas over there with the hell of his hair. Why don't you come on over, baby? Shake, shake, shake. Whoa.
So, if there's one song I know quite well at this point, it's this song. So, Shake It Off is an upbeat track that encourages the listeners to let go of small problems. It was a number one for 4 weeks, staying on the chart for 50 weeks. The song is essentially written about an important lesson I learnt that recently changed how I live my life and how I look at my life. I really wanted it to be a song that made people want to get up and dance at a wedding reception. Thank you for that, Taylor. I appreciate that. From the first drum beat. But I also wanted it to be a song that could help someone get through something really terrible if they wanted to focus on the emotional profile and the lyrics. But I have people saying to me, when my mum died, I listened to this every single day to help me get out of bed. And then I have people say I've danced to this at a wedding reception. If they want to forget about the lyrics, they can. But brilliant. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say that absolutely nobody's paying attention to the lyrics at a wedding reception. But it is very fun to dance to. And all ages as well. It'll get literally anyone up. It's great. All you had to do was stay. So yeah, I think this song musically doesn't massively fit in with the rest of the album so far. I think this is more of a Red song. Lyrically, it fits in with the theme of this album, but musically, I think it's more of a Red song, which makes me think that this song was written sort of in between both albums. Or she just had too many songs. Maybe it was written just after she'd finished submitting the songs for Red. But yeah. This part here. My ex-man bought his new girlfriend. She's like, oh my God. This bit right here is my favourite bit to do live. It's great fun. But yeah. Shake It Off. It goes in A, obviously. We like Shake It Off. There's not a whole lot to be said about it. Everyone knows this song. Okay, next song is I Wish You Would. This is a song about an ex-lover who she doesn't exactly think she will never ever get back together with. What a terrible sentence. Although their relationship is over, she has no bitter feelings towards him. A part of her wishes he would try to get back with her, as she would not decline. It also flirts with the idea of a friends with benefits relationship. That always goes well. A fan who attended the 1989 secret sessions held by Queen T herself posted the following story on Tumblr. Taylor said that she wrote I Wish You Would a couple of months after her and Harry Styles of One Direction broke up and they decided to become friends again, and she said this was the first time she became friends with an ex to the point where they were comfortable enough to talk about why the relationship didn't work out. It's very mature. She said he told her about how after they broke up, he bought himself a house, literally one road adjacent to hers. Every day he would drive home and accidentally turn into her street, and he told her how he just wanted to stop at her house and see her, but never did. She said this song is about when he was in the car making the decision to get out the car and see her. So this is written from the perspective of Harry Styles. She was sitting in her bedroom wishing he would make a move. No, it's not. It's her watching Harry Styles out of her window and willing him to make a move. She compares it to a classic John Hughes movie where both parties want the same thing, but neither has the guts to say anything. Sounds like we like Harry. That's good news. Sounds a bit like that Little Mix song, doesn't it? Shout out to my ex, you're really quite the best. I wish you would come back, but you never hung up the phone like I did. If she's going for a modern pop song, then the chorus is a little messy. It's not massively sing-alongable at first listen. Da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Wish you knew that I miss you too much to be mad anymore.
Da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, maybe it's one of those that grows on you. That was an interesting song. So it's very hooky. There's got a lot of hooks in there, but the chorus is needlessly complex. I think. I mean, it's not complex, but it's more complex than it needs to be. I wish you would come back. Wish you never hung up the phone like I did. It's a choice she's made, but I don't understand it. I wish you would come back. Wish you never hung up the phone like I did. I wish you would know that. I'll never forget you as long as I live. And I wish you were right here, right now. It's all good. I wish you would. Yeah, super simple chords. Super simple chords that resolve. Wish you never hung up the phone like I did. I wish you would come back. Wish I never hung up the phone like I did. Da 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 da. Nitpicking. Wish you would goes in C. Bad Blood. Okay, well I know this one as well. Vaguely. I don't know it as much as I know the other singles. I know the chorus. Baby, now we got bad blood. As far as I recall, it's quite minimalist as well, the chorus. So Swift said in a Rolling Stone interview, for years I was never sure if we were friends or not. Who? She would come... Oh, Katy Perry. She would come up to me at award shows and say something and walk away, and I'd think, are we friends, or did she just give me the harshest insult of my life? Then last year, the other star crossed a line. She said something so horrible, I was like, oh, we're straight up enemies. And it wasn't even about a guy. Imagine. It had to do with business. She basically tried to sabotage an entire arena tour. She tried to hire a bunch of people out from under me, and I'm surprisingly non-confrontational. You wouldn't believe how much I hate conflict. So now I have to avoid her. It's awkward and I don't like it. There you go. That's interesting. So this is about Katy Perry not being very nice to her.
'Cause baby, now we got bad blood. Hey!
That third line being a non-rhyme really throws me off. Done blood, cut blood. I wonder what the thought process was there. Because if she wanted to make it rhyme, she could have. I wonder if it's supposed to give you a sense of dissonance and make you uncomfortable.
Did you?
Is it just because I know now that this is about Katy Perry that pre-chorus, it's so sad to think, sounds like a Katy Perry song. It sounds like something that she would sing. Is that just me making stuff up? Let me know. It could just be me.
Baby, now we got bad.
I wonder if the chorus is going to kick in at some point. I know that's, again, not the style for this sort of music, but it'd be interesting if it did, because it's been building up ever so slightly every time.
Still got scars on my back.
It did kick in somewhat. I'm surprised, but it did. I like that more than I thought I would, because what I remember of it, I think, is probably the first verse and the first chorus, likely. I like that more as it went on. I particularly enjoyed the bridge, which is a running theme for this album. I'm really enjoying the bridges on most of these songs more than the rest of the song, which is interesting. I'm going to say, I don't think the lyricism is as good overall in this album than the last two. Also, it looks like a lot of these songs are in roughly the same place. Interesting. Okay, What is next? Wildest Dreams. The 9th track and 5th single is about Swift hoping her lover will remember their best moments after over. It expresses mixed feelings, hoping that they last but knowing that they'll end. This album is very focused on post-relationship, the aftermath. Surprisingly, the famous figure who gets the most elaborate attention is Lana Del Rey. Swift flat out mimics her in Wildest Dreams, flitting between a fluttery soprano and a deadpan alto, flipping lyrics on Lana. Flipping lyrics so Lana. Flipping lyrics so Lana. His hands are in my hair, his clothes are in my room, that it's hard to tell if the song is an homage or parody. Now, I don't know Lana Del Rey very well, so this is probably going to be lost on me. According to Swift, the beats heard at the beginning of the song resemble her real heartbeats. Okay, let's have a listen. Yeah, I don't know much about Lana Del Rey, so that's gonna go straight over my head. But I was getting a lot of Imogen Heap, specifically Hide and Seek, when she's singing Wildest Dreams with all those layers of harmonies behind her, in the exact same melody as Hide and Seek, na na na. If you didn't get that before, you're gonna get that now, and that's gonna ruin this song for you. So. This was a very average song for me, so it's going with the rest of them, quite frankly. I feel like this style, this mid-2010s dance pop, where there's no variance between a verse and a chorus, there's no point where it kicks in, aside from sometimes in the bridge, and that's the only part of the song. The rest is just flat, and you get a little thing for the bridge, and then it's flat for the rest. And again, it's very much probably not aimed at me. I like some peaks and troughs in a song. Anyway, what's the next song? This is How You Get the Girl. Taylor Swift unveiled a snippet of this song in her Diet Coke ad. Okay, of course she had a Diet Coke ad. The song works as advice to a guy who wants to get a girl back. She suggests better tactics than the ones her former lovers seem to have used on her, described in songs like We're Never Getting Back Together. The song has also been rumoured to be about on-off relationship between Justin Bieber and Selena Gomez. Okay. Right, let's go. Yeah, that's is used in so many pop songs around this time. I'm surprised that's the first time I've really picked up on it in this album. It's probably been in there a few times.
Reminder how it used.
Okay, bubblegum pop. Yeah, a lot of good hooks, very dance pop. I definitely think that when this album came out, this was the perfect music to release in order to propel her into the mainstream. I mean, she was there before, but she's on a level playing field with every other pop star now. And I wasn't a massive fan of the music that came out in this time in the first place. So this going this direction for me is not ideal. I feel like a lot of the people that count this as their favourite Taylor Swift album were just at the right age at the time to be culturally relevant enough to have music aimed at them. This is the album that they probably discovered Taylor Swift. They knew about her a bit from her previous singles on Red maybe, but this is the album where they really discovered her, and I think that nostalgia in their mind has turned this album into something better than it is. I was really expecting something more than this. I think the lyricism and the imagination have gone downhill on this album, which, I mean, she's trying to reach a different audience now, so I think she's somewhat dumbed down her songwriting. Okay, this next track is called This Love. Taylor uses cyclical metaphors to ponder on the cycles of relationship. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad, but regardless, it's still love. It also explores the idea of fate, a quite common thread throughout Swift's whole discography. If a relationship is not supposed to happen at this point in time, you'll have to let the other person go, even if you don't want to. Poor Taylor Lautner. And if it's meant to be, they'll eventually come back to your life. Following the release of 1989, Swift told Yahoo that she considers This Love to be the first song in which she Really experimented with different vocal recording styles. Looking forward to hearing that. She goes on to explore more of that side of music in her following album, Reputation. Ooh, interesting. The more I hear about Reputation, the more interested I am to listen to it. As documented by a Tumblr user, so, very reliable source, this was the first song Swift have written. This was the first song Swift have written to 1989. Right, okay. The sentences are awful. This is the first song that Swift had written for 1989, right after she dropped her 2012 album Red, and started out with a chorus as a short poem written in a book. And this is the only one she wrote by herself, which quite frankly makes me more excited to listen to it, because I think so far Speak Now has been my favourite album. Yeah, see what she means by the different vocal recording styles. She's double-tracked this, which is normal, but you wouldn't normally do it on a slow song like this. And she's panned one track to the right ear and one track to the left ear, and ever so slightly different, which just it creates an atmosphere, certainly. That's a lovely song. I think it might be just a trend that I enjoy songs that she's written by herself as opposed to with co-writers. I think I prefer them in general. I wonder if I'd have felt that way about this song had I not known that she wrote it herself. That's interesting. Yeah, we're back to good lyric writing again. I wonder if the idea for different vocal styles, different vocal effects rather, was her idea or whether that was a production idea. It's interesting, this love, this love, this love, this love, this love, where she's in different places in the room and singing in different styles. It's a very interesting thing to do. I wonder how that came about. It'd be nice to see a behind the scenes thing from there. That one, going to go in A. Right, so we've got I Know Places. Okay, so this is about the difficulty of a high-profile couple finding any privacy from paparazzi and gossip magazines. It uses the metaphor of a fox hunt where the animal's only chance of escaping the dogs, horses and guns lies in their cunning and ability to hide. This song may be about the media circus when Taylor and Harry Styles started dating. What's this Instagram link? I'll just click on that haphazardly. And it's gone. Never mind. Could have been anything. I'm quite glad, if I'm honest. We're going full 80s with the recorder click there. I'm assuming by recorder click they mean a tape recorder, obviously, not they haven't busted out the. Okay, this is quite Regina Spektor, actually. Weirdly, it's the single piano note presses. It reminds me a little bit of All the Rowboats. And I really like, the setup with the I, and that being the background of the verses, and I'm assuming probably throughout the song, setting up the rhyming scheme there. It's very, very interesting. Whoa! That was a big belt from Taylor. That's a rare thing for her. And we're on! It's a big one. Wow. I really, really like that one. That's got some really interesting elements to it. I love that the eyes at the start went through the entire song, basically. It's almost like she started with that, and then she wrote everything over it, and that's been the basis for this whole song. Even at the end, where she got I, or whatever it is, that's still an I, another I. Yeah, I really enjoyed that song. It's going there. And now we've only got one song left. Gone very quickly has this album, I think. Maybe the songs were just generally shorter. Alright, this song is called Clean. In an interview with Elle magazine, Taylor said the following about Clean. Clean, I wrote as I was walking out of Liberty in London. Someone I used to date. It hit me that I'd been in the same city as him for 2 weeks, and I hadn't thought about it, and when it did hit me, it was like, oh, I hope he's doing well, and nothing else. Hey, she'd moved on. And you know how it is when you're going through heartbreak? A heartbroken person is unlike any other person. Their time moves at a completely different pace than ours. It's their mental, physical, emotional ache, and feeling so conflicted, nothing distracts you from it. Then time passes, and the more you live your life and create new habits, Yeah, you get used to it, and then eventually you find that you're over them. Fine. So it's a drug addiction, and she's finally clean. She lost him, and she found herself. Okay, last song of the album. Here we go. Well, that is the last song on that album, and it's going in B, but overall, this album has not been one of my favourites. And I think, let me just, hold on. This album is aimed at people that were enjoying pop music, pop dance music in the mid-2010s. And it's aimed at what they were enjoying, what was selling at the time, what was popular. Taylor's specifically gone out of her way to depart from what she was doing and try and appeal to the majority of people. I'm not part of those people because I wasn't born at the right time to appreciate that sort of music. I need my choruses to pop out from the song. I started listening to Taylor Swift in order, and that means that I've got to know her writing style, and she's very good at her lyrics and expressing emotion through song, and that's kind of fallen by the wayside with a lot of the tracks on this, which I think is a choice. She's trying to appeal to as many people as possible, and that means dumbing down her lyrics. She has tried to create tracks that can be played in a club and danced to, as opposed to tracks that can be thought about and analysed. That is my thoughts on 1989. I kind of understand why it's been hyped up to me so much, because it would have been an exceptionally popular album to the people that were around at that time enjoying pop music, people that were of the right age at that time for it to be very influential to their music tastes. I don't know where she's going from here. If I had to guess, I would say that the next album is going to take a dive to the side. I think she will have got her pop album out of the way, and she'll start taking a few of those pop sensibilities, but scaling it back a little and trying to mix it with her lyrical and more interesting style. That's what I would hope. Anyway, the fact that she's working with Dude from Fun gives me hope, because he uses beats, sounds in a very strange way that can be a little off-putting to some people, but some of his more obscure songs take a few listens. So sorry to everyone whose favourite album is 1989, but so far it's my least favourite, because it's not what I'm listening to Taylor Swift for. It's not what I've been trained to listen for by listening to her from her first album. I think so far, I mean, if I could take half of Speak Now and half of Red and combine them, that would be perfect. But right now I think Speak Now might be my favourite album, just because she had something to prove lyrically and she really went for it, proved everyone wrong. So yeah, I'm sorry if there's an anticlimax. I didn't specifically build the blanket fort for this, but I'm glad I did. I'm going to hang out in it for the rest of the day now and avoid doing any work. Why? Why would I want to do work when I've got a blanket fort? I'll tell you what, my notes didn't get updated at all during this one. There was no new law. I suppose I could write down that Katy Perry mean. Beautiful. Right, okay, well that's that done then. On to Reputation. See you in the next one.